Alright, so I have a hood latch assembly for 2010 Acura TL. It will be similar to the TSX as well. And there's an ongoing known issue for the Acura is that over time your alarm will just start triggering arbitrarily. And what I'm finding is in my research, a lot of it ties to the hood latch assembly that I have in my hand. And the advice for the most has been to replace the assembly with a new part. Well, it's not necessary in most cases. You could clean it. Well, I went and cleaned mine and it fixed the problem. But what you're looking at is that green piece, that's the switch. What happens over time is that this whole thing gets gunked up with grease and dirt, and the switch stops being able to actuate properly or send a clean signal. If you look inside, you see that little loopy hook right there. Right, I'll use my screwdriver so you can see. Yeah, right there. That part gets gunky, and that's triggers a relay or a contact on this assembly. There's lots of dirt that gets in there. So I literally just took a wire brush and flatted screwdriver and gently scraped the dirt. Use brake cleaner, scrape the dirt, use brake cleaner. And this was, when I took this out, this was like black and dirty and grimy. And now it's nice and clean. It's gonna be a bit cleaner, but I tested it after I cleaned it and it works perfect now. So you may not have to buy a new assembly, you might just have to clean the old one, clean the contacts. Just remember to re-lubricate all of this. I'm going to be using lithium grease, but just about any kind of heavy lubricant should be able, or grease should be able to get the job done, because you don't want it staying dry. It will corrode and it will seize. Good tip is, while you have it apart, clean inside the wire harness as well. Use some silicone lube before you put it back together. That'll keep the contact nice and clean and make it easy to take apart again if you ever have to do so. It comes out pretty easy, this assembly. You're literally looking at 3 10mm bolts, and then the wire harness is clipped into the rad support, so you have to press it out, and then it unplugs and unhook the hood cable, the hood release cable, and that'll be on this side. So when you look at it with the hood open, you look down, it's gonna be over here on this side, right here, and you just unhook the loop from in here. Unhook the loop, and the whole assembly comes out in one piece. When you're done doing the clean, see, it's nice and clean now. Almost looks brand new, actually. You know, you gotta do one last thing, and that is to adjust that metal clasp that I showed earlier. That one that triggers the signal. You have to bend it up a bit, because over time, I mean, this car is 10 years old. That part ends up bending downwards a bit, so it doesn't get as clean or as much tension on the contact. And what I'm talking about is this piece here, that little curvy part, the striker, if you will. I'm touching it. You have to bend it up. You see how it is here? It goes up, and you see there's a curve on it now. That angle is closer to 90 now. It was more of or less of an angle before, right? It was more like maybe 110 degrees. So I bent this upwards, so that when the hood is closed, this clasp goes downwards and puts more pressure on the switch. And again, like I said, flathead screwdriver, wire brush, and I use the pick to get in some tight spots, and brake cleaner.